profanity mean? It means a word that is defiled. It's a word that is vulgar. It's a dirty word. Okay? Often when growing up as a kid, we would say it's a bad word. Right? Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. So something that is profane, something that defiles, or something that is desecrated. And the reality is cuss words fall into that. And let me say this. If you're a Christian, you're saved, okay, and you still struggle with this matter of cussing, you need to fix it. Okay? You say, why is that? Because the Bible says, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And saying the F word or saying the S word doesn't edify anybody. Amen. Okay? It's corrupt.
That's a hard sermon to follow up on, what Pastor Shelley preached. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, that was a really memorable sermon because he gave us the acronym of Jews. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do to make my sermon memorable? But then I thought about it. I was like, well, I'll just drop a couple F-bombs. And everyone will completely forget his sermon. And they'll just remember mine, And so that's my goal. I'm just kidding, Pastor Jimenez. I'm not planning to do that. He specifically instructed us, please do not do that. So I crossed out all the times in my sermon where I was like, well, I can't right there.
You say, well, what determines what is a cuss word? How do you know? Why would you say that the F word is a cuss word? Well, where are you getting that from? Well, the culture, of course. Right. You say, well, why would you get that from the culture? Well, obviously we know that we don't go to the culture to learn what God says. Right? We don't go to the culture to know that which is godly, that which is wholesome, that which is pure. We don't go to the culture to learn that. We go to the Bible. But however, we can determine what is ungodly based upon the culture.
Like, I didn't even know about that whole situation. Like, you were the one who told me. Oh, in passing. Like, I told him, like, hey, you want to come preach for our church? He's like, well, I don't know. Are you okay with me saying the F-bomb in your church? And he was obviously being facetious about it, and I'm just like, damn, what kind of sermon was that? What has he got planned? And I was just like, I guess, It's like...
See, cuss words in our culture, in spite of where they come from, have been deemed to be, by and large, very vulgar and bad. When you hear a cuss word, it's just like your senses should go automatically up and say, wow, that was bad. Yeah. That's offensive, or that person should be ashamed. In fact, you even feel ashamed when you hear someone cuss. You blush. You're like, man, that person has a dirty mouth.
Let me just say this. I'll go out and say, you attack any one of my friends, I take it like you're attacking me. Because I ain't got that many friends in this world. So I got to keep these guys, happy, you know what I mean? They're my friends.
You say, well, I looked in the dictionary and you look up at the history. Doesn't matter. It's perverse.
When you attack the new IFB, I take it like you're attacking me.
Right. You ask anybody who's a Christian or someone who's not a Christian, someone who didn't grow up in a Christian home, they'll tell you, that's a bad word. That's a dirty word. You say, well, what's bad about that? Well, the bad thing about that is the Bible actually tells us, put away from thee a froward mouth and perverse lips put far from thee. So the Bible tells us that you shouldn't have a froward mouth and it shouldn't be perverse. And you say, well, what's wrong with the F word? It's perverse.